Welcome to Mindfiles Minutes. In this segment, we're talking about the interlocking chain of forgiveness. In the first chapter of A Course in Miracles, which is the chapter solely dealing with miracles, it says, miracles are part of an interlocking chain of forgiveness, which, when completed, is the atonement. So how do we let go of the anger that we hold against the people who harmed us? And how do we move toward forgiveness? How do we ever get to a place in our hearts where we could actually forgive the person who abused us or maybe sexually assaulted us as kids? How do we let go of the resentments that we hold against people who humiliate us, assign shame to us, and who hurt our feelings so bad that we felt as if our heart was broken? Forgiveness is a tough concept to grasp when you're holding on to a ton of hurt. Many cling on to the idea that the people who hurt us will get theirs one day. That's because our pain calls out for validation. We want the people who harmed us to be punished. Because when we're hurting, we feel like we're being punished for something that we didn't do. Our deepest pain is almost always attached to an experience where our innocence was questioned or outright denied. Or worse yet, stolen from us. Somewhere in the filing cabinets of our mind is a mind file that describes an intense experience that created a false belief about ourselves. Way in the bottom of a mind file, there's a narrative, a memory, of a time where you got blamed for something that you didn't do and you were punished. The first emotion you likely felt was shock that your parent or caregiver, depending on your situation, you were shocked that they didn't believe you when you said that you didn't do whatever it was that you were being accused of. To you, it probably felt as though they took the other person's side. And that feels as though your worth is less than the other person. The next emotion you probably felt was sadness. First, because you weren't believed, and then because you were punished. Now, the next time that something happened where you felt as though your parent or other caregiver chose a sibling or a relative or a friend's kid over you, your mind's process immediately looked inside the filing cabinets of your mind for that mind file that was created when you got blamed for something that you didn't do. And it retrieved the narrative that you wrote and put it in the forefront of your conscious awareness to remind you that you were not as good as someone else. And then your mind's process created a new narrative that was specific to this current experience. Except this time, notice that there's triple emotion. The paper itself is colored blue, and there's two sad emotions attached to the story. Our emotions color our experiences. And when we are reminded of a past experience that was painful, emotionally painful, we see our current experience through the colored lens of that past hurt. Every time that your mind's process references that mind file, it already assumes that sadness will accompany whatever experience you're having. Now, eventually, sadness becomes anger. And anger is an action emotion. It lashes out against hurt. But it also creates a field of energy intended to protect us against further hurt. But what's really happening is you're building a wall of pain. because of that anger. And the wall does two things. It invites all the people who think that they can break through that wall, and it keeps you alone behind that wall in darkness. Now just take a moment to think about the number of times that you felt slighted and left out or blamed, ridiculed, and made fun of. All the experiences that you had in your childhood inform the experiences you have as an adult. So again, think of how many narratives are in specific mind files that describe an emotionally challenging or painful experience. All those mind files are stored in the filing cabinets of your mind. In order to let go of all the anger and the bitterness, blame, and resentment that we carry around with us, we have to be willing to take an inventory of all of the mind files. And we must be honest with ourselves. We must ask ourselves how many times that we blamed someone for something we did, or how many times we deliberately left someone out or made fun of someone. You see, the chain of forgiveness starts with us. When we can be honest with ourselves and acknowledge all the times that we've hurt others' feelings and move toward forgiving ourselves, then we can begin to see how all the people we believe intentionally hurt us weren't always intentionally hurting us, and we can move toward forgiving them. When we forgive them, it can encourage them to forgive someone else, which in turn encourages that person to forgive someone, and so on. We are all connected, and in more ways than you might think. When you hear something like, "It all begins with you," or "You can change the world," you can. Start by letting go of your anger and blame and the bitterness and resentment that you hold against others and move toward forgiveness. You can be the link that hooks up with others and create a chain of forgiveness. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you learned something, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. See you next time.